welcome back to another episode of the Assembly Line. Today we're going to talk about the Tigers' series win over the Cubs. We'll touch on maybe a little bit of the NIL revenue sharing that came out. A quick talk about maybe the Pistons offseason. And then maybe we'll close it out with some U.S. Open talk. Yeah. So Tigers went 2-1 against the Cubs in the series over the weekend. Game 1 we won 3-1. Schoolboy went 7 2/3. 94 pitches. Torque and Jahmai Jones both homered to give us the lead and then give us a little cushion. Lost 6-1 on Saturday. Just seems like it wasn't our day. And then yesterday, Sunday, we followed up with the 4-0 win. Ben, what were your thoughts on the series?
I mean, first and foremost, Tarek Skubal. He's been dealing this entire year. 6-2 so far. Try to give him some run support. I mean, probably could have given him a little bit more in game 1, but I mean, still got through it. Got 3 runs. I took a look at his betting odds first to go back-to-back Cy Young. He's minus 175.
Dang.
Next best, Max Fried at plus 800. I mean, that's just a crazy disparity. And I mean, I don't know what really goes into the makings of the odds, but I'm almost half inclined to take Tarek Skubal because that's a lot of gap between first and second. Put some cash on him. I won't win a whole bunch back, but at least you're on the winning side of things. So we all know that about Tarek Skubal, but we don't really know about Jahmai Jones. Nobody could tell you anything about where he was before, except for that he was on the Yankees.
Yep.
That's it. And I feel like you guys only know that because I said it in our group chat.
No.
But the only reason
I looked him up on Baseball Reference, bro.
The only reason I know it is because MLB The Show, I'd go through and say, oh, who's this 20-something-year-old? See his player card, and his player card's in a Yankees uniform. Had no idea before that. So, I mean, that's definitely a good bring-up. He's probably a little bit better than Andy Ibanez would have been, who we kind of swapped for. But, yeah, I mean, Torque, go ahead, home run. In the 6th inning, after they just came out, tied the game in the top of the 6th, Torque, bomb in the bottom of the 6th.
Bombazo did Torque.
That's right. But yeah, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this as well, on game 1.
I mean, there's not much to say.
Welcome to Detroit, Jahmai. Torque comes through finally. He's been struggling. It's good to see him get a hit / home run.
Yeah.
But I think that's just story of his season so far. But he was clutch. He was clutch in their 2 wins.
Yep.
With that 2-run double in the first.
Yeah, he went 2 for 4 in game 1 and 2 for 4 in game 3.
Yeah, to be honest, I was in a golf scramble Saturday, so I didn't watch any of that game. I just score watched at the end.
Oh, this game was Friday,
saw that they lost. I know. I saw they lost game 2. Game 1 was just a Scoob show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much else to say about game 1 besides Scubo's dominant, and we got timely hitting from Torque and Jahmai. I mean, that Jahmai Jones home run mattered a lot more than I think people realize, because I feel like people kind of forgot about it, but because Skubal was so dominant, but they had a guy on in the 9th inning. And that's a completely different game if now the winning run's at home. But yeah, for the
insurance runs are always nice.
Yep. Second game, I didn't get to watch either. I know Holton gave up a run in the first inning, and then Montero gave up 4 more in the next 5 innings or whatever. He's kind of been a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind
outside
of
of his Rockies start, he's kind of been struggling a little bit.
yeah. I agree. I think it was a little bit of a stinker of a game on both ends of
Yeah,
both sides of the plate, I guess. On on at the plate and on the mound. The Cubs had 7 hits with 6 runs. 5 of those hits were home runs.
Oh
I
damn, really?
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't
So I
box score
don't.
look that much, but holy shnikes.
Let me look real quick. I would want to see if all of their RBIs came off of home runs, home run, home run, home run, home run. Yeah, all of their runs came off of home runs. Well, on the flip side, the Tigers had 6 hits for 1 run. Um, I mean,
It's
sometimes that's the way the
baseball.
cookie crumbles, but sometimes you have to, manufacture runs. Um, they just like many people say, it just wasn't their night. Happens in baseball. Collect yourself and get back out there in Game 3, and that's exactly what they did. Flaherty coming out, throwing a hell of a game. Um, he only went 6 innings, but had nine Ks.
6 innings, 9 Ks, perfect for him.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, I don't know if you could have done any better. He started the year a little shaky. I I thought like, ooh, this might not be good, but he's come around the last few starts, and I'm kind of excited to see if he can keep it up, and hopefully he can, and kind of get us moving forward, and that way we don't have to say, oh, we got Tarek Skubal game 1. They're like, all right, we got whoever game 2, the bullpen game, all that. We actually have a good number 2.
Yeah, two things. Number one, Montero actually, his 2 starts before this gave up 0 earned runs. So I was wrong about him stinking lately. Um, and then, yeah, Flaherty. So I'm kind of was like you. He kind of had a shaky start. But if you kind of look at some of his stats and some of his games, it's like some of them he just didn't get run support. Um, like he gave up 3 earned runs against Cleveland, but we lost 7-0. Like it's 3 earned runs, but it's like when we don't score. Um,
Hard to
Even
win
if he
when you
gave
don't
up
score.
one,
yeah,
exactly.
yep.
If he gave up one, you still would have gotten a loss.
And he's had, and then back in, I mean, 2 of the starts in April, he gave up 2 runs and 3 runs. We lost 2-0 and 5-0. So he's just, you know, I don't think that his win loss and everything doesn't speak exactly to how he's doing. I mean, he's got a 3.41 ERA. It's 39th best in the league. It's not great, obviously, but it's also not like he's giving up 5 runs a
I like
game. I
not
mean
hitting.
that's what he's probably giving up 2 to 3 a game. Because he's only going about six innings, so he's only giving up
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3. So it's really not that bad. I mean, he's tied for 20th for WHIP. He's tied 12th for Ks, so he's doing a lot
That's
better
among
Pretty
than.
pitchers.
good.
The whip is just among pitchers.
Or starters.
I don't know. It just says tied for 20th.
Oh, all right. I'm
But
assuming it's position
yeah,
based.
but yeah, he's pitching a lot better, I think, than I realize, at least, because I always was under the impression he's kind of having a down year, but he's actually pitching pretty well. He's had 3 straight starts that have been really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he dominated. It's nice when we get on the board first. Torque with the. It's funny. Why does this always seem to happen? First 2 batters get on base. Oh, first and second, you're thinking we got to score this inning. First 2 on, no outs. Nope. Next one pops up. Next one, then the one after that strikes out. Now you're looking at first and second with 2 outs. Luckily, Torque kind of came through clutch again and got them both home.
I feel like it kind of mattered that there was 2 outs because that ball was like, who was their outfielder that was chasing it? Was it Tucker, Kyle Tucker?
I don't
I'm
know.
probably not.
Oh, I
I,
think it
I
was
don't
him.
know.
I'm pretty
Anyway,
sure it was.
but anyways, he had a decent beat on it, I thought. And like, if there's only, I mean, depending on how the ball bounces after it hits the wall, but there's 0 or 1 outs, that guy on first is only going to be about like halfway, maybe to like towards second base. But with 2 outs, he's just running. Um, easy score compared to an alternative. But yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
worked out.
Torque seems like he's kind of, I don't know. I was looking at, I
It's
forget,
really
I think he's
his
hitting,
team.
so the Tigers overall, I think, are hitting 343 when they hit the ball, you know, so now
Hmm.
non-strikeouts, which is, I think the league average is like 318. So they're doing, when they put it in play, they're doing pretty well. But I think Torques is one of the even better, like, or maybe it's Riley Green. I think it's Riley Green. He's hitting like the snot, like he's just hitting the ball so well. It's just he's just struggling right now with striking out. But then he kind of came through it later in the game with another 2 out hit. And then,
But you were making some plays on defense
dude, our outfield might be the best
on
outfield.
Friday
Our outfield might be the best
and
outfield in the game.
Sunday.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
threw out the
yeah,
Carpenter, threw out the guy on Sunday, and on
yeah.
didn't he have two?
Riley Green had a couple diving catches. Parker had a few nice catches.
Yeah. What did you guys think about that call at home plate? Did you see that going around? I missed it live because I was doing something. I
The one
missed
where
like
he's
the
thrown out
fourth
at
and fifth
home,
inning. Yeah.
he was out.
No, I mean a lot of Cubs fans disagree. Said the ump screwed him.
Of course, I mean everybody's going to disagree with it
Are
being
you
their team.
Well, not everybody. I try to be as unbiased as I can. I think it's because people are
Yeah,
showing an
same,
angle
but
from behind home plate where you can't tell if he tags him on the arm when he's coming down before he gets to the ground. And if you see an alternate angle, it does look like he does that. I think, regardless, I think he was. If you put it all together, I think he was out. But then you add on top of it that they called him out. I think it's hard to over. I think it's just one of those ones. It's like you can't tell 100%, so you got to keep it as it is.
hmm
yeah.
But then,
it's sports.
yep. And then we had Will Vest come in, shut the door. Um,
He
I love
he's
him.
been
Yeah,
He's turning into a decent closer.
oh yeah.
Last
him.
year, I feel like he was a setup guy.
Yeah, he
This year, he's
was.
more of a closer. He's like more of our distinguished closer.
And it's cool
Yeah.
because we have like two. But like, cause Kane, like I think Vest, I think has 10 saves, and I think Canely has like he has like 8 or something like that.
How many of those are more than 3 outs, though?
Why
More
does
than like
that
a 3
matter?
Probably
out
not
save.
probably not too many because I don't think they're very long
No?
relief types of guys.
They'll get a 4. I don't know if they really do 5 because I remember one time Canely came in with 2 outs in the eighth. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get the save. Then they took him out after the eighth, so they only pitched the 2 batters. But
Hmm.
um, I'll look real quick. Let's see.
Regardless, it's really nice. This
Yeah,
offense like, just comes when you got your 3 big hitters hitting in Carpenter, Green, and Torque.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, Vest has 10, Canely has 8, and he also has 8 holds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Between the two of them, they have 60 innings pitched, and they've only given up 10 earned runs. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And their WHIP is both above or below 1. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty
but it's
darn
cool that we
good.
have two, like, because Canely's a different style pitcher. Like he can strike people out and everything, but he's kind of more of the, I feel like the grunt.
Pitch to contact.
Yeah, like if you need a double play, he's coming in. You need a strikeout, it's Will Vest.
Right.
But it's cool that they have both of them. The one thing they do need though is like a middle reliever to get them to those two guys. That's the one thing that we're kind of
Right.
missing. And they all kind of go in like spurts. Like Herder, like it's like just flip of a coin. Are they? Is it going to be their good day or their bad day? If it's their good day, then we have no like they'll go 1, 2, 3. If it's their bad day, it seems like
Yeah.
that's when it causes trouble.
I think Tyler Holton can be that guy, but he just needs to, I don't know, tweak something. Just I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but
Maybe
All
there's a
right,
they
little
definitely.
had a knock on wood.
Yeah, there you go.
maybe there's a little pressure of like they know that this team's really good, and if they're not going to perform, that there's a chance that like someone else is
They're getting
they're gonna
sent down.
trade someone. Yeah, not necessarily sent could get sent out, but not necessarily that. But just we could trade for someone to kind of take their innings away. Obviously,
Right,
that means someone would have to go, but I don't, I don't know who it would be as of right now.
right.
Um, but yeah, I did see if the Tigers go 500 the rest of the year, they'll still end up with 90 wins. That's just 500. We,
Mhm.
I guess I don't remember. I know a couple weeks ago we had the third easiest schedule remaining. I assume it's still one of the easiest in the league. I think if you look at our schedule now,
I-
it's the
Got the
Orioles
Orioles.
they're doing better, but they're not like
They're
they're
not like
still
they
not
everybody
great.
thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
They've had some injuries that kind of set them back a little bit.
And then after that though
Still
we
win the
go
series.
we're home against Cincy, Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, and then the Athletics. No, none of those four teams are very good. Um,
Yeah, none of them really scare me.
no, we do have a
But
And the
skiing start
Twins.
scheduled. Then we go when we're home against
good. I think
Minnesota.
that'll be a good test
Yeah,
to face some like high quality pitching. How do we do?
yeah. But so then we go to
So
then we go Minnesota. Then we play Washington, who also isn't very good. So there's a like there. It'd almost be surprising if we're not 10 games up by the time we play even Minnesota in the division. Like
In the
that's
division? Okay.
we're hoping you should go a minimum of averaged out of two, what is that, one, two, three, four, five series. So they should go at least like 10-5. That's two and
Oh, I
one.
would ask.
That's winning
Yeah,
every.
just win the series.
Yep.
yeah,
But yeah, so I think we're in pretty good position. I know you brought up Tarek Skubal's odds for Cy Young. They now have better odds right now to win the World Series than the Lions do to win the Super Bowl.
wow.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. That stadium was packed this weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
Except
That was
except right behind
awesome.
home plate.
Well,
yeah.
those people, so those
So,
tickets have a lot of extra stuff in it. So like you're
Oh
not like
yeah,
going to be sitting there the
well,
whole time because everything a lot of shit's included.
so it's
right.
That takes you
included.
away from the game.
It's included, but it's not done. It's not. They haven't finished building like the some of it, so they have to like walk like around like the whole stadium to get to where
Yeah,
like their free food and free drinks, or I don't know if they're free, but
Wow.
their food and drinks
yeah.
are. So if the like
It's
if you spend
complimentary.
yeah, if
Yeah,
you spend a whole inning just trying to get to where you gotta get food, like you're probably not gonna like you're probably just gonna sit there and watch the game from there rather than go all the way back. So I mean, I think in a playoff game, those would be more full. But and then also like I don't know the timeline on it, but I would assume next year that would be ready to go.
I
But
sure would hope.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think I heard it somewhere. I think this team is like, telling ownership and the general manager like, "Hey, we're for real. Like we're
Hmm.
win now. Like go make a move. This is the time. Go do something." Um,
Yeah. You brought up how there's a skiing start in there. The day before is supposed to be a school start.
mhm.
I would like to see them flip flop Montero and School get School Skeens pitchers
doesn't
duel.
matter to me. Yeah,
I just think it'd be
it's
cool
cool
to
for
see.
TV,
We
but
we do have a day off between Cincy and Pittsburgh, so it is possible. But to be honest, Ben,
also that's also a long time away.
to be honest, I think you try to
About a month.
I think you min max your try to. I know it's so far away, or it's like so far away from end of the season, but you almost like, okay, if Scuba's out there and he's not pitching against Skeens, that should be a win 99 times out of 100.
True.
Whereas
That
like
is true.
we can like Skeens has a losing record and he's given up like 1 run in the last 3 games. So it's like
Yeah.
we don't, it's like if we just play him how we play him, we could still beat Skeens, and it's not really his
Right.
fault. But
That's
yeah, for
true.
TV, I mean, I think there's a chance that that Apple was like, hey, you're playing the White Sox. Why don't we move Scooble to Friday night? Apple TV, best AL team versus best
Yeah.
NL team. Because I don't
Yeah,
know, it just seems
it is
fishy.
possible. You never know. You never
Yeah,
know what they do.
Right.
There'll be a lot of shit like
I
that
mean,
goes on,
the only thing I guess that would counter that
like
is
the NFL. It's
yeah, the only thing that would really counter that is the fact that we only have 4 starters. And
Well, we just got our fifth back.
who's back?
officially.
Sawyer Gibson Long. He's scheduled to go tomorrow
Oh yeah, he
against
came. He pitched
against
Yeah,
against
he
the
pitched
White
Baltimore.
Sox.
Saturday, but he's not our fifth starter.
He's a
He's
fill-in, I
he's
would
our fifth
say, for the
in the
most part.
rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
mean,
fifth starter.
I guess
He's a
people.
rookie. I'm pretty sure.
Have you
Yeah,
guys heard anything on Job lately?
no, I saw someone on Twitter like kind of concerns me that we haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything
I
either.
did hear.
But he's still on the 15,
I think so.
thinking up downgraded or whatever. Okay.
I I mean if
I haven't been on social media at all the
yeah,
last day.
I think
So
I did see that or I heard that as of right now, I think it's probably there's probably a 50, I don't know, 50-50 better shot that Verlin's not going to be back all year.
Really.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not. I think we need his bat.
I did not like last year in the playoffs. And
You can't
he
you
didn't
can't
he
just
didn't
think
like
about the
stand
playoffs
out.
though.
I know. He didn't like stand out enough to me to where it's like we absolutely need him back compared to like
Yeah.
how McKinstry's been hitting. Like if Javi
Yeah, but
wasn't in his slump that he's been in since the Red Sox series, like I'd be like we'd be fine. But if Colt Keith and um McKinstry can just fill in at third
yeah,
and
I mean
keep hitting the way that they've been hitting, like obviously another bat's always wanted, but like I don't think we're missing that much with him not in the
no.
lineup.
I think that's part of why they're moving Colt Keith to third is that those are our two positions that aren't producing. It's short and it's third. Like Trey Sweeney and Javi aren't really get. I mean,
Oh yeah, I forgot
Javi's
Trey
a,
struggled.
yeah, he's kind of struck. He's batting like 158 since like those home runs or
Yeah,
whatever.
I hate
Um,
that.
and then Trey Sweeney's not hitting very well either. And then because Vierling's hurt, we don't have any. We sent Ibanez down, so we literally have no third baseman or an extra one. So like we had to put Colt there. That's why I think Vierling. Like, it's like those are the two positions.
His
So it's like that's who we're
versatility.
gonna have to go after is someone that can play short or third if we want to bat.
You know who could?
Stars are lining
Alex
up.
Bregman.
Yeah.
So June 6th, which was
Shave his
3 days
mustache. You see
ago,
that?
Matt Bierling received an injection in his right shoulder Thursday and is expected to resume baseball activities within the next couple of days.
Yeah, I thought
That was on June 6th.
I thought he suffered a setback.
This is just what
That
ESPN
was after
has
he came
listed
back.
under Detroit Tigers injuries. June 6th was after he came back,
No, I'm talking
3 days
about
ago.
his setback. I didn't hear anything about
Maybe
his setback
I could
since he
have
went back on it.
I could have swore I saw
I thought
something that said that he was that he offered like another setback.
I don't
So
like to
maybe
see
I'm
that
wrong.
either. But
But I mean, at least it's something. Alex Cobb is supposed to start with West Michigan Whitecaps.
when?
Actually, he just did 2 days ago.
Yeah, he looked his
Uh,
pitches were
was
fine, but he couldn't
Two,
walk off the mound.
yeah, allowed one unearned run and two
I could have
walks,
went to that
striking
game. I was
out.
asked to go to that. I said no because I was in the outing. I didn't think I'd be back in time.
Nice. Yeah, it could have been cool. Probably could have saw Max Clark too.
Isn't it crazy?
Just
He's like
all the
tearing it up
prospects.
on like at what point do you move him up? Like it's just crazy that there's such a big gap between A ball and MLB because like you're like he's just it's well maybe he's not raking, but I see clips of him all the time on Twitter and it just seems
Oh
like
yeah.
he's going 3 for 5 every night with 2 doubles and either a single or a home run to go with it. And it's like why is this guy not on the Tigers right now? Just because you're seeing him do so
Whitecaps.
well, but I know there's just such a huge gap. Like I feel someone just got called up. I don't know. I don't think it was the Tigers, but they went from single or high A to triple A, and I was like, that. I feel like that's unheard of. Where you just skip a whole entire league, but I don't
Unless
know.
you're on a fast track. It all depends on what the farm
Yeah,
system
I
looks like.
guess.
Like start
And
him,
what
so
you're
we're gonna start you out at high A, and then if you kill it here, we'll just bump you all the way up to triple A. See how you do.
and what your needs are.
Yeah,
Like
Hey,
if the Tigers
like the
needed
Whitecaps have one of
some,
the best rosters in high
yeah.
A right now.
If the
They're
Tigers like
they're pretty
needed
good.
a center fielder in like the next 2 years, you could see that Max Clark could something like do something like that where he goes from high A to triple A to see if he's ready or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
But
We'll see.
He's
they
Maybe
current.
hopefully he finishes the year at least in Double A.
yeah.
He's currently
Hopefully.
batting 257.
See, I would have been like he's batting 330,
Right.
but
His OPS is 789.
that's
This is also his first year.
I thought it was his second year.
Actually, no, it must
I mean,
be
he was drafted last year, so he played maybe a little bit at the end of the year.
his his OPS is the same this year as his entire career. So I don't know how that works.
Oh,
But
maybe.
everything else, but the bottom lines are all different. His MILB career stats are more than his 2025 stats, but his OPS is the same.
Hmm. Interesting.
Interesting.
How the cookie crumbles.
Yep.
And this is his third year. He was must have been drafted in 2023. He was in minor ball. Now he's in A plus, high A.
Gotcha. I don't know. Either way, the Tigers are primed to get. Hopefully, I mean, we're hoping for the 1 seed. I mean, right now it'd almost be a disappointment. As the season's going right now, it'd be a disappointment if we're not the best American League team. I know the
Right.
We don't get
Yeah, the Yankees are right on our tail, but we really need at least the bye would be nice, and I think it's the first 2 teams, right? Yeah,
Right.
because Cleveland didn't play and then the Yankees didn't play last year, so hopefully they
Yeah,
make
that'd
a
be
move
huge.
at the deadline. I'd like another bat,
do
short or third, and then hopefully a reliever, maybe even a starter if we really can get something for it, but
Get
we
spicy.
don't need it. But maybe the
It's
playoffs we do.
nice to
see
have.
how Job does when he comes back. But this is like few way forward thinking. If Kerry Carpenter still progresses a little bit and is still the hitter that he is, do you think the Yankees target him?
They could
Yeah, why? Yeah, the
with
left at
the
bat with the short porch.
Left at bat with the yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't know where it was. I saw a clip of
'Cause I feel like by then Stanton
someone.
will be old. Like
Yes, Stanton's already old.
Stanton's already old, but like he'll be
Um,
gone.
uh, you made me lose my train of thought. Oh, there's someone in the front office that said like we like to keep players that are like homegrown, and then people are like, well,
Yeah.
why haven't you signed Tarek Skubal yet?
I know,
But I mean,
right?
like, Carey,
That's gonna be a
Spencer,
fat
Riley Green,
contract.
Skubal, like Colt Keith. I think Colt Keith. They're all like
yeah.
homegrown guys. Like it will be cool. I think they'll keep Carpenter. If Carpenter wants to, it's more about who if they want to stay, and it kind of depends on how these next couple of years go.
Yeah. I knew.
I mean,
I just got to thinking of like a Tigers Yankees ALCS. I'm like, man, like
yeah.
that could be a ballpark that Kerry Carpenter just goes
So
ham on.
Kerry
But
Carpenter, we have arbitration with him until 2028. So I mean, That's 4 years. So he's also
26,
he's
27, something like
27,
that.
so he'd be 31 by that time. So still good years in him, but well, I don't know. We got 4 years to figure that out, but that's
Right.
why I think possibly why getting that number one seed might be huge is like if we can, because the Yankees, with Aaron Judge and it's easier to hit home runs there, and we strike out a lot.
Mhm.
So it'd be better if we
Yeah.
can get those games at home, especially with someone like Flaherty pitching. I feel like obviously we talk about he's doing better, but it's easier to keep it in the ballpark in a place like Comerica over
Mhm.
Yeah.
over the Yankees.
Great.
So,
Cool.
but yeah, no, I think Carey's good for a while. Dude, it's kind of crazy how
Yeah.
little these guys make in a way. Like, dude's starting on the Tigers, best team in baseball. If he's in the NBA, he's making 15 million a year. He's making 796,000. Like he's not even making a million. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Granted, it's
You also have
it's
incentives and
arbitration, so
stuff.
it's not like they're next year he'll make more, but it's just
Yeah.
crazy. You think if these guys are making a shit ton of money, and obviously that's a lot of money, but it's not you know NBA money and Tarek Skubal money that he's about to make.
Right.
But
I mean, you could also sign him for those 3 years and skip the whole arbitration process. It's, I mean,
nor yeah,
if he's like, yeah, I'm worth this much, and then the team's like, no, you're only worth this much. That's where the arbitration comes in.
yeah. Well, typically you only sign like they're not going to sign a deal for arbitration if you have 5 years left in arbitration. They're not going to sign you to a 3-year deal. Like because they're under contract for 5 years, so you wait. Like right now is the time where you would normally do, or even in the next year or two, is when you sign them to get them long term past the arbitration.
Yeah,
Because arbitration just makes it so it's fair,
true. Fair value.
and they also have to pick one of the two numbers that the player submits and that the team submits. It's not like a
Right.
middle ground. It's we pick
Right.
whatever. So I don't know. Any more thoughts on the Tigers before I move on?
Eat 'em up.
So they got 3 games at Baltimore, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That'll all happen before we record our next one. What do you see us going? We got Scooble supposed supposed to start on Thursday.
2-1.
Yeah.
Win the series.
Every series, I'm just gonna say
What
two
do you
and
at?
one.
Yep.
Okay, well, is that your prediction? Is 2-1, or you just hope they
Yep.
go 2-1?
I think
Two
it's
and
my
one.
it's my prediction. I think there's more of a chance we go 1-2 than we sweep them.
I would agree.
But yeah, what's your prediction?
I think we go. I think we drop the first game tomorrow, the 10th. Then we win game 2, win game 3.
Depending on Tarek's school start.
Yeah, he's slated to start. I think he'll start.
AJ Hinch likes to do things, but
Unless it's Kiter Montero.
hey, like I
I
said, his
like
last
I like
two
our
starts before
chances.
Saturday. I mean, technically, he didn't start on Saturday, but
One
Outings.
bad start doesn't
yeah.
define your pitching ability.
Well, it's funny that
I
all the Tiger fans are, I might have
I
fallen
think
into
Now,
this a little bit,
if it's a
but
habit, then
no, yeah, but
we need to rethink some things. But it's one like
we went 2-2 against the White
baseball.
Sox, and all of a sudden we were the worst team in baseball. And it's like,
yep.
where is the
Welcome to
talk about?
baseball.
Yeah, where are all these people now? These Debbie Downers now that we went 2-1 against the best NL team. Probably
Right.
we should have won 3. But all right, that's enough Tiger talk. I think we'll move on to. What'd you say? Oh, we'll move on to the first time we talk about college sports. NIL was revenue sharing was passed by whoever passed it. I don't even know. Looks like you get
One of the
Judge.
U.S. Circuit judge.
yeah you get every school. I think this is every school. You get up to $20 million to be shared across all sports. Um,
It's
I
20
saw
and a half, but no more.
what?
Depending on
Yeah, it's 20
depending on
and a
your
half. Yeah,
revenue,
you
like
have,
you
yeah.
exceed 20 and a half. Yeah.
Yep. You can't go over
Top schools
20
will
and a
go.
half. Yep. Um, so I guess you don't have it, but you have the ability to spend 20 and a half. It sounds like there's only like 30 teams that are planning on spend it all. Um, like all 20, and it's basically, I'm assuming it's just the Big Ten and SEC schools, and then maybe a few other. I mean, that's a lot of money. It
Yeah.
does sound like Michigan State and Michigan are both two of those teams that are going to be spending all of that. But you got to remember,
Oh,
if when this when they pay the 20 million, it's now 20 million less that the athletic department gets that they normally would get. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
who knows what it'll do with personal NIL stuff. I thought I heard something that now that every NIL deal has to go to like a committee, and they have to like approve it because I think they're starting to make it where
CST.
yeah, they have to make it where it's like you can't just give someone $1 million. It has to be like
Good.
you
Fair
have to
market
give a
value,
million.
like
Yeah, they might. It could just be one tweet, and you gotta like advertising for them. But it sounds like they're going towards that where they have to have a little benefit to just giving the $1 million out or whatever.
yeah, because I think they're like Deloitte was one of the companies I saw mentioned. They're in the process of like tweaking their software or something to like track all of that, and then dating back to like some other stuff.
Yeah.
Um, it's a new era,
Yeah.
college sports. It's interesting. I don't know. I like it for all the players. It'll be interesting to see how each school divvies up the percentage wise to like because most schools have it where it's like 75% to football, 15 to basketball,
Oh, what the? I was
and then
just.
like 5 to baseball and softball, and then 5% to like all the other sports.
I
But
want to.
like
Yeah. I want to.
what who is really benefiting from all this? Football players,
Yeah. I saw something or I heard
maybe
someone.
some baseball or basketball players,
Yeah,
but
it's definitely those
Basketball
two.
for sure.
like those are going to be the schools that are going to be able to like fork out the most money. So it'll be interesting to
So
see how it affects recruiting and all that.
there's a table on nil-ncaa.com that kind of shows their estimations. So football, so estimated revenue sharing power school averages. Football, 75% of the allocation there. The average per athlete is 146,000. For basketball, they're saying it's going to be about 16%. That's $218,000 per athlete
So they
for
get
about
more.
15 players. So they get more. So like hockey is about just under 3, which is 21 grand. So like basketball, women's basketball, 1.1%, 16 grand.
Yeah.
Like that's
I saw.
I mean, I'd take that in college all day.
I
But
heck
saw
yeah,
anyway, but
some.
no, the scholarships are going down
Yeah.
they're
in
going up.
football.
Mm-mm.
No,
They're
No.
they're
going
going
up.
down
No.
20. They're going down 20.
Scholarships
No.
are
Ben,
going up.
you're also wrong.
Oh,
Oh, my
you're
key.
wrong.
That's I'm literally looking
Yes.
at it.
No. You can have more scholarships, but it doesn't mean you have to use them. But it's now you have so much money. You can give out as many scholarships as you want, and you can give out as least. If you want to go to 105, you go to 105. If you want to stay at 85, you can stay at 85. Yes, technically scholarships gone up, but you don't have to use all of like the player
Mhm.
Have you
limit.
ever had to use them?
I mean, technically no, but didn't the player limit also go down though? Wasn't it used to be like
The player
120?
limit went down. It's like 120. That
Yeah,
was on
Yeah.
my. So like scholarships go up, but basically it's saying you can put all players on scholarships,
yeah,
but you can
Yeah.
only have 105 players.
yeah,
Right.
And I'm not a big. I don't know if I like that because you knock out what 20, 15, 20 of your walk-ons, and you might say, who cares? They're just walk-ons. Like they're not going to really play or anything. Well, a lot of good players who may have started as walk-ons, but they're also a scout team, and that takes wear and tear in practice off of guys that could either be getting first or second team reps, or like have those guys now being worn out a little bit more in practice. So like, I mean, you're gonna have to adjust kind of how you do practices and stuff. So that may just end up being a nothing burger, but there's going to be a little bit of a change when it comes to practices now.
Ben, let me tell you something. The
Fill me in.
NFL only has 53 players active roster, and they have like 12 guys on practice squad. So if they can do it with 65.
Yeah, but have you ever gone to one of their? They don't even pad up for practices. They don't.
Yeah, and that's how it's starting to go in
They really
colleges
don't. Yeah,
too.
in college they're starting to
It's
do
a
that
lot
too.
less than it used to be. It might be
You
more, but
work
it's
for a
still less
football
than it used
team?
to be.
Yeah, we still
Um,
went stud every like twice a week.
Yeah, when Ryan was there, it was probably 3 or 4 times a
Yeah,
week.
it was every day. Real men.
No, no. You had walkthroughs on Fridays.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and full
yeah.
pads.
No, it was not full pads.
Oh well, no, I was.
You were
Yeah, I was
full
full
pads.
uniform.
Yeah, full
He
uniform,
was.
not full pads.
Anyways, so kind of like you said, I'm like, I'm happy that the players are going to get paid, but it's just, I don't know. College sports
The
team as
cool.
a whole is just changing so much, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know how I feel about it. It just doesn't. Maybe it's just getting older. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem to, for me, it doesn't have the same juice as it used to. I mean, maybe some of that's Michigan State's been down in football, but even like through basketball, when we were playing, it still didn't feel like it had the juice that it has in the past. And I don't know, it's just different. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
You don't really. They as a whole, players don't seem to have that source of like, I don't want to say commitment, but like, it's not like, yeah, I started here as a freshman, now I'm a junior or senior,
Yeah.
and I've gotten
Tradition.
tradition, development, love for your like actual love for your team and your school, and playing for the name on the front.
But
Yeah, but I also don't fault
yeah,
them
but
because they're trying to maximize
No,
their
not at
earning
all.
potential
their
for,
name on the
because
back.
a
Right.
lot of times they're not going to be playing, professional. So that's why I
Hmm.
struggle with it.
Right.
That's why it's like I don't really know how to feel because I want them to make the money that they can make, but at the same time, in my opinion, it's also ruining college sports. I mean, you go, I can
Like,
go on a tangent too about the new college football playoff and all these guaranteed spots and stuff, which I don't like personally. I just think you
Re-
got to earn your way. I mean, it's just you shouldn't just get a spot because you're the fourth best team in the Big Ten. Like I don't know,
Right.
just everything's
yeah.
changing, and I don't know if all of it's for money. From
Yep. Revenue
not
sharing, I don't mind.
no, I don't. Again, I don't mind
But
that maybe, but yeah,
the one thing I have a problem with NIL, it's like the way I feel like it was intended is you make money off your name, image, and likeness. You want to do a brand deal with
yeah,
somebody off your name, you're allowed to. You want to do a commercial, you can do it. Not the whole, you want to come here, here's $300 million.
yeah,
But like, not that much, but like here's X amount of dollars to like just come to our school. Like you don't have to do anything.
yeah,
Like
Right.
it's kind of like free agency. I don't like that part of NIL. I don't like how it kind of became that. But like if it's the way I really hoped it was gonna be, is like, yeah, you make money off your name and the school you go to or whatever. Like you get that dollar.
Jersey sales.
Um, yeah, jersey sales, like all of that.
Mhm.
But I am
Oh,
excited that no matter like if you play with the team in NCAA 25, they'll they'll get like a percentage of
yeah.
of
26.
whatever how many games are played or whatever in dynasty. Is it just dynasty mode?
I don't know
Yeah.
anything.
Anyway,
I
I
just
don't.
know,
But I just think that's so cool because like
yeah,
that's actually pretty neat because it's like, oh, cool. Like, all right. Now it's
It's
like
yeah,
shit.
definitely a
Play with Do I play with a small school and like give them an extra 50 cents, or do I
yeah.
just
but at
play with
this,
the team that I want to support.
that's it's also it goes back. It's just like this is why I have a problem with like the playoff is it's just a way for the rich to get richer. Basically, it's a way for the Big Ten and the SEC to get into the playoff. They want the guaranteed stuff. Plus, they can still get in the at
Oh
larges.
yeah.
But this is another way. It's like, okay, Ohio State has a big fan base. If they really wanted to, they could all they're probably still playing the game. Like they can
Mhm.
make more money for them. It's just like, what about Appalachian State? It's like, okay, they have a lot smaller fan base. It's going to take non-fans for them to get money. It's just, I don't know. I like it, but at the same time, it depends how it's used. If it's, it's me going as playing as Arkansas State again and, going with them, or is it me playing as Michigan State? It's like, no, I mean, it's not going to change the way I do things. I'll tell you that. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna go small school, work my way up. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, it is a cool thing. We'll see.
Oh, I also think this revenue sharing can create some quote unquote super teams. I don't know. Kind of like what Ohio State did last year.
But yeah,
They
it's
went out
already
and got the top running back. They got the top safety, like
it all
in
de-
the portal.
it all depends
Like
because
I think I don't know.
if Ben's saying 75% of the money is divided up equally, they only get 100 and whatever $50,000. Obviously, you're probably gonna pay your top players more, but at the same time, like you're still not making like there's no way you're gonna be able to give someone like 5 million without
I'm saying
it's not gonna
yeah,
be as much. It's still gonna be depending on NIL money. It's
I
Right.
just the
think it
way
opens the floodgates though.
it could, or it could just be like it could make it easier for NIL teams. We'd be like, okay, we're gonna pay this guy 5 million, but but now we need this lower level guy, and instead of paying him revenue sharing, we're gonna go out to you know the Ford
Applebee's.
dealership and we're gonna get a
Yeah.
commercial for him, pay him 20 grand, and that's what he gets. And that way, that Ford dealership only has to pay 20 grand rather than 500,000
1 million.
or whatever. But I don't know. Who knows?
Another thing that you could see is the people that go out or the teams that go out, like the potentially Ohio State, they only have their 85 guys on the roster, so then they have more to give to other people. They don't have to pay the 105th guy on the depth chart on the roster.
I do think that uh, there'll still be walk-ons. It's not like walk-ons will go away, in my opinion.
No.
So that still, I don't think anybody's gonna. I think people will still carry the max amount of players, but we'll see.
Walk-ons can still get NIL too though.
Yep.
So
I think because there's like a certain amount of money that you can use for scholarships, and then after that, I think it has to come from like the revenue sharing, or you have to. It's more of
the
like
thing
more of like an out of pocket thing.
as a fan of college sports, mainly basketball and football, the one thing like yeah, I'm a Michigan fan. We have a lot of brand reputation. But at the same time, it's like each year it's going to be like, shit, who are we losing? Are we going to be able to replace them in the portal? Like it's just going to be like that constant, like every year it's going to be like, you're not like, okay, we got so and so Bryce Underwood's coming back no matter what. Like we know this, type thing like you did in the past. Like you knew who you were having coming back. Now it just adds that element of shit, this might be our only year with him.
Right.
Like I hope we
Yeah,
win,
no, you don't.
and stuff like that. But like
Who's
I
who's
know
leaving
I
Michigan? That's a top player. No one.
know,
Who's
I
leaving
know,
Michigan
I'm
State as a
just
top
saying,
player? Half of them. So you like Michigan
well,
has a lot. It
that's
does not have it as bad as like Michigan State. Like you're not losing a top player. Like yeah, you might
I know.
lose
I'm not
the
saying necessarily
backup
for
running back. I'm just saying. Like
saying in general, like every off season you're gonna have to
yeah,
like you're gonna be losing players. Like yeah, there might be
in
freshmen that
football,
I
I should
think
say.
have a lot of potential and
Yeah,
stuff like that, but then they go and leave. So I'm like, dang, like I
The
really
depth.
wanted to see you come up in through Michigan and have a good career here at Michigan. Now you gotta go elsewhere. Like
yeah,
those are I guess the stories I guess that I'm talking about. It's like the underclassmen that don't that seize their opportunity to maybe like go start at another program or something instead of like working through that adversity or whatever they're going through. I know it's not the case with every player. There's a lot of politics that goes on
mm-hmm.
Yep.
when people transfer and everything. But I like seeing the homegrown people, like, you know, pe-
Yeah,
so I'm gonna lose that. But
the guys that stick it out through the harder times, the
yeah,
adversity,
Those are the guys I
exactly.
like.
especially in basketball.
So
Yeah, I think it's both, all sports, even hockey and everything.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah, I
It's a,
just
it's a, it's a changing sport, and we're just along for the ride. So we'll
yep,
be
yep.
here
ever
through it all.
evolving.
We'll
Um,
watch the damn game anyway. Anyway.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what's they got us by the throat. Um,
Just stop with the commercials and
yeah.
Fox.
Um,
Jeez.
so I did want to touch on something about the Pistons real quick. So I know we were talking about Miles Turner um, last episode. Apparently, there's a Bleacher Report article out there by Jake Fisher, and he did say that Pistons could target Miles Turner. So just remember who said that.
Wow. Impressive.
Again, if you listen closely, could target. You could put
right.
anybody on there. They could target him, but I don't know. I
Got to
just
read the
saw
fine print.
I saw it on there. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I thought you
Like I
had
said,
some juicy, but
no, there's nothing. There's
I don't know. That's
nothing.
pretty juicy.
There's nothing going on around like in that sense. Anything. But all right, wrap it up. We'll talk about the U.S. Open. Ben, you wanted to talk about this, so you start us off. What do you want to talk about?
yeah, what's
I
the
mean, who
big
you guys
idea here?
who you guys got? I mean, should be a fun tournament. Course seems to be playing hard. I mean, it's true.
Yeah, I'm excited for the course. Yeah. Um,
I mean, it's playing hard, so it's going to be like it's not
Rough
like
is rough.
I'm rooting for the course.
Yeah,
all
me
right.
too. I
I'm
want to
rooting for
see the
over par.
winner finish over par. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but
It's
Yeah.
very
if I
possible and likely.
I'm going on a
So
Or
it
limb.
five
it
under
leaves it open to
or
anyone's game
Yeah. I'm
when
uh,
the course is playing hard.
I'm always
I'm
gonna be Team Bryson, but
I'm rooting for Scotty. I think it'd be cool if
yeah.
he like pulls off this, and there's a little. I mean, then there's a little talk about Grand Slam at or career Grand Slam at the Open, and then if he wins that, um, well then he'd have the Golden Slam, but he could also there's a wait, yeah he could be the first one. No wait, he didn't win the Masters. Damn, he could go back and if he won those two, do the Tiger Slam. That's what Tiger did. He lost the Masters, won the next three, and then won the Masters
Yeah.
for the Tiger Slam. But I do want Bryson in the mix, just because
I think it's more fun to watch. I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
it's
When
more
he's in
fun.
the
Yeah,
mix, I feel like
I think you love him or you
Yeah,
hate him. I think it's fun to have him in the mix from a pure entertainment standpoint. And then if I had to pick like a long shot, no, he's not really like a long shot, but I think I like Morikawa. Um,
yep.
I knew you were gonna say him.
how? It's not like I'm like a huge Morikawa fan.
I don't know. I just was thinking I'm like Morikawa's coming out. I
Yep.
just know it.
But overall, I'm rooting for
When
the
you said
course.
not a huge long
I
shot,
mean,
I was like, yeah,
I'm not a long shot guy. I'm just
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Courses like this, I guess maybe it makes other people be able to win, but it's just these kind of
What
I
about
don't know. It's
Victor?
hard to
I
go
think
against the top guys.
that's who I
what
was
about
going to say,
Hovland?
Kyle. That's what I was going to
Hovland?
say. Yeah,
Yeah, it says
Hovland's been
that's
up
your
and down.
wife's
I mean,
favorite.
he won a tournament earlier this year, but he's kind of
I like Victor. I think he's a cool
yeah.
yeah.
dude.
I also like Akshay Bhatia, but I don't think he's going to be able to play well enough to be at the top of the leaderboard.
You never know. It's different game. Speaking, I know Ben, you mentioned how the course is tougher. Doing some real analyst work out there. Um,
Yep. Hey, takes what it takes.
um, I don't think this was a. I think I don't know who it was. Someone made a comment about how they think that people like watching them struggle or something like that. I remember years past they're like, don't like people want to watch us like like birdie every hole. Me personally, I love when they have to play harder courses because
Hmm.
it relates to like the people more. Like I'm not hitting driver pitching wedge into every green. Like I'm not hitting every fairway. I'm not hitting. I'm not. Part of the reason is none of us are. You know, that great at golf, but it's more fun when it's challenging, you know? Like same thing with NBA. A lot of people didn't like NBA because they'd be like, "Oh, there's no defense." It's like when people have to try and really get to, you know, their spot on the court, their spot on the course. Like it's more entertaining to see them, like, you know, actually have to put some thought into how they're hitting the ball, where they actually want to land it, how they can't miss a fairway because they know they got to hack it out of the rough. You know, it's
Right.
just I don't know.
Yeah, there's
It,
no first cut either. It goes straight fairway to 5 foot rough.
Yeah.
like the one like what makes it good is when the course isn't super easy. I feel like it keeps more people in the mix to have like a moving day, like a
Yeah.
Saturday moving day. Like after the first cut, it's like, okay, we got a moving day. Like if everybody is if the leader's at like -2 compared to like -12, I feel like people that are, +2, +3, +5 are still kind of in the mix. Because
Me
like that
per
-2 can easily become a +1 after one day
I just
Right.
want it like
on these tougher
the
courses.
reason I like tougher courses because I feel like anything can happen like down the stretch. Like a guy could be up
Yeah.
two, and then he could even going on to the last hole. It's like this isn't over because he could easily double bogey this. Whereas like
Hmm.
most courses,
It's
I
not a
feel
guaranteed
yeah,
par.
most it's like you have one bad shot, you're looking at double bogey. Whereas like I know it's a major, so sometimes they are a little tougher. But you know I don't want them to be like, yeah, the scoring average on this is 3.3. It's like that's just too easy. Like it's over. Even if they're up one, like they're not bogeying this. It's over. So like the harder the course is, the more carnage at the end typically can happen. So you know I like it. I
Would
want it to come down to the last three holes where it's like it's anybody's game.
would you rather have the 18th hole be a par five or a par four?
I want it to be a real par five that we have to play. I want that to be like 800 yards, so they can't just hit a freaking driver in a 7 wood
Like
onto the green.
550, 600, 600
I mean, there's
yards.
look, none of us hit it very far, but there's
No,
courses
I
out there
know.
that like even the people that we play with it can hit it far. Like they can't. It's almost impossible for them to reach into. So it's like it's every you know. It's just it'd be cool to like you know see something like that. But I think I'd rather have a be a hard par four. If it's
Uh,
if it's an easier one, I'd rather have it a par five because then it might throw an eagle in there that can kind of change things up. But something where like a
Hmm.
scoring average is like 4.3, where it's like this is hard. You can par it. There has been a couple birdies, but like you're probably gonna par it, and there's more of a chance you're gonna bogey it than you're gonna birdie it.
yeah.
That's why I think. I mean, 18 at Augusta's, if you know, it's kind of like that. Not a lot of. I don't think there's like a ton of birdies on there, a lot of pars.
Uh,
But I don't know.
True.
It should be a fun week. I'm hoping. I feel like every time they talk about the rough being long, it never like it just doesn't seem like it comes into play. It's
Right.
like they're just, which is also disappointing when they all pull out their 2 irons and they just hit it
And it's
275 down the
really
middle, and
good.
it's like, wow, this is fun. Now they're gonna hit instead of a pitching wedge, they're gonna hit a 8 iron, 7
9.
iron into the green. They're gonna do the same thing.
That just makes
That's
that
why
much more impressive though.
That's why I like Bryson. So that's why Bryce needs to be in the mix. It's hopefully he'll just bomb it. Like 5 inches, I don't care. I'll hack it out of there.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll see. Should be a fun tournament. I hope it's hope it's like the
Hope it
Masters
lives
in
up to the
terms of
hype.
yep,
Yeah, good deal.
yep.
Yeah.
But any closing notes?
Got nothing.
All right. Well,
No notes.
see
Cog
it.
on.
What's that?
But no notes. Cog on.
Harry Potter
Yep.
bringing all the worlds together.
Well, not all of them. We'll save the others for later.
All right.
Good
All right.
idea.
We'll see you down the line.
Cue the music. All right,
Hit it.
I gotta go make dinner. Oh,
Is Ryan frozen?
you dumbass.